Hey guys, it's Morgan here with my channel Life in Lilacs, and today I am 6 weeks and 1 day pregnant. So this is going to be an update on my symptoms, pregnancy symptoms. I'm going to be as real and as thorough as possible. So if you are a youngin or a guy, you may not find this video as interesting. I'm kind of giving you a forewarning that I will go into lots of details. So maybe go ahead and exit out here now. But if you are interested in knowing all the ins and outs of what the first 6 weeks of pregnancy looks like, stay tuned. So let's dive right in. If you don't know me and somehow you've ended up on my channel, my name's Morgan. I am currently a mom of 3 kids already, and I'm expecting my 4th. And so I was not on YouTube with my other kids, and I have thought how much I would have loved to have documented the journey of pregnancy. So I'm really excited with this baby that I have the opportunity from the start to walk through you everything, the symptoms, everything I'm experiencing week by week, because I know when I was a new mom, I would have really liked that. I would have really liked someone out there saying what they were going through, and I could look at that and see, like, am I experiencing the same things? Do they have any help or tips? So I'm hoping to convey that to you guys today. I did make myself notes because one of my more obvious symptoms lately has been pregnancy brain. It is real, and it gets very forgetful at times. So I'm going to try and stick to the list, stick to the details, and let you know step by step. I also want to do some upcoming videos about my other 3 pregnancies because each one went very different in the birth story, and I want to tell those stories. My first child was a C-section after trying to labor naturally for almost like 2 days on end. And it just ended really rough for me, and it was like an emergency C-section. And then my last 2 children, I had, it's called VBAC. It's vaginal birth after cesarean. And both of those were successful. And I also did them unmedicated. I didn't want any epidural. I didn't want any kind of pain medication because I was afraid that it would lead me back to a C-section. So I want to talk about those stories and how I did that and kind of what I'm expecting with this one as well as we get going. But those will be for a later video. So today I'm going to talk about from the moment I found out that I was pregnant to now and what I'm experiencing. So I am 6 weeks today, and for those of you that don't know how it works, they go by the first day that your last period started. So it's always a good idea to track that anyways. My husband is amazing in that it's one less thing he makes me do. He just does it for me. On his phone, whenever I would have a period, he would just make a note about it and track it. Because I'm forgetful and I don't always remember to put that down, but he does. And so he had a list of all of my periods, and even though we didn't know that we were expecting a baby, we weren't even trying, when I found out I was pregnant, I was able to look back from his phone notes and know exactly the first day of my last period. So it was January 5th was when that started. And what they do is they count your pregnancy as starting that day. Even though like technically you haven't conceived yet, the baby doesn't exist, they start the count of the pregnancy from the first day of your last period. In the beginning, that made no sense to me, but it's what they do. And so because the first day of my last period, January 5th, was a Tuesday, it means that every Tuesday I become a new week pregnant. So like January 5th to the next Tuesday would have been week 1. So I officially found out I was positive for pregnancy on January 30th. At that point, I was 3.5 weeks pregnant. This is a little bit different for me because normally I don't test positive till later. Like when we knew we were trying for our other kids and I was taking tests regularly, I often wouldn't get a positive test till like week 5, 6. Our last child, Eden, it took me till like week 7, I think, before it actually tested positive. My body just would not respond to those tests. So I was really shocked to learn that I tested positive so quickly on this one. And the only reason I even took the test is because we're in the middle of a pandemic and I had been feeling really, really fatigued. That was that first symptom at 3.5 weeks. I was just dragging and I couldn't figure out why I was so tired, why I wanted to like nap in the middle of the day. And it's above and beyond normal fatigue. Like, I'm a mom of 3 kids. I get tired. I occasionally want to nap. This was like, I can't even keep my eyes open, like sitting on the couch. Like, I just had to fall over and fall asleep. And I knew that was weird, right? And I thought, okay, this could be COVID. It's also a symptom of pregnancy for me. But what cinched me to take the test is, I'm being very frank here, it's breast tenderness, okay? It's a very common thing that women experience where like everything hurts. Like, it hurts to have a bra on, it hurts to touch, like you haven't quite experienced that kind of pain. And I say pain, it's tenderness, okay? I've only experienced that when I'm pregnant. And so I was feeling that and I thought, why am I feeling this? Like, occasionally I might have a twinge of it around the time I start my period, but it's usually more intense when I'm pregnant. So I knew there was something going on there. I decided to take a test to rule it out. Sure enough, it was positive. 3.5 weeks, 2 dark lines. There was no doubt about it. All right, so I'm gonna drink some water because that's another symptom I've been experiencing is excessive thirst. So I'll get into that. All right, so I had fatigue and breast tenderness at 3.5 to 4 weeks, which is just a couple weeks ago. Test was positive. I took several tests in a row. They all were coming back really, really positive. Week 5, which is last week for me, I had everything that I've mentioned so far except some other symptoms started adding on to it. One was excessive thirst. I told my husband, like, I could not drink enough water. Your body is got more blood flowing through it. It's just got things happening and changing in there. And I mean, I was downing one water bottle after another, and it would be like late at night and I would feel like I had to drink a whole bottle or 2 before going to bed. And I would go to sleep and I'd wake up and have like a desert mouth and I'd be like, I need water. So that has kind of persisted. It's not as bad as it was a week ago, but I was just constantly drinking water. Okay, the other thing that happened last week, week 5, is I got a really bad case of heartburn and I learned my lesson and I will never do this again. I was staying up kind of late one night with my husband. We were watching a movie and he went and got a bowl of ice cream from the fridge and it was like a strawberry ice cream, okay? Nothing I haven't had before late at night. And I said, hey, can I have a few bites of it? It looked really good. So I didn't even eat the whole bowl, but I did eat what was left. My very kind husband passed over his bowl and let me finish it. I regret that so, so much because what happened is about 15, 20 minutes later, this pain welled up through my chest, and all I can describe it, it's the heartburn pain I felt in my other pregnancies, but usually later on when you have a baby pushing on you, it's just like your chest is on fire and it doesn't go away. It doesn't let up. It just stayed that way for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Like I ended up, so I took Tums to try and deal with it. And then I sometimes have an aversion to dairy. So I took Lactaid, like it's these pills I have around to deal with lactose issues. I took that. My other secret weapon when I had heartburn before in pregnancy was always essential oils. I kept ginger and fennel essential oil around. So like I covered my whole chest in ginger and it was just burning like inside of me and it didn't go away. It took maybe about an hour and a half after all the stuff kind of kicked in. After the ginger kicked in, I put lavender on my chest as well and a little bit of peppermint. All of those can help with heartburn. It finally started to fade just a bit and then I was able to get to sleep. But even going to sleep, I was still in some pain. And so I told my husband after that, I said, I will never again eat anything late at night because it was a nightmare. I have not had heartburn like that since then. Okay, so heartburn, that was kind of a one-time thing, but it was late at night. What I did have kick in last week was nausea. So I've had really bad nausea, food aversions, certain things that I normally love look gross to me, like vegetables. It's been really hard for me to eat vegetables right now. I normally love a good veggie platter, anything like that. I was watching another video of another woman's pregnancy vlog, and she said that old childhood cravings were coming back. Like, she was normally a really healthy eater, and she was wanting things like Lunchables and Kool-Aid. And I'm curious, like, I don't know the science behind it, but if there's something about the neural pathways in our brain of, like, the cravings and things we learned to eat as kids, if, like, pregnancy brings that back up. Because I also had a craving recently for Taco Bell, and I don't normally eat there. But I did when I was a kid. My parents would often take us through the drive-thru and get us like a taco or something. Honestly, as an adult, most of the time it kind of disgusts me. And yet the other day, like, it was the only thing that would satisfy me was to have a bean burrito from Taco Bell. So cravings are different, and food aversions are different. The nausea was really bad. It was not something that I could really fix, control, or even handle. I had my first throw up, or vomit on Monday of this week. So today is Wednesday when I'm recording. Monday's the first time I've thrown up. So on Monday, I was one day before turning into my 6 week of pregnancy, right? Because I turn 6 weeks every Tuesday. I become a new week. So Tuesday of this week, I'm now 6 weeks. Monday, I was right at the very end of 5 weeks. That was the day I threw up. I had eaten some like leftovers for lunch. It was like mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and some things my mom had actually made from a very nice dinner the night before for Valentine's Day. And I tossed it all. And when it came out, like, there's just no stopping it. I was nauseous for a while, and then I went to lay down, and it was when I laid down that it came up. So nausea, vomiting, weird food aversions. I've also been very hungry. So while nausea's kind of hitting me more this week, the week before, I was more hungry that week. I was just wanting to eat a lot more than I normally do. More meals throughout the day. Excessively hungry, excessively thirsty. All right, and then I would say the last kind of symptoms of this week, now that I'm into week 6, nausea's persisting. What helps me right now is if I don't let my stomach get empty. As long as I keep eating and like small meals, not things that overwhelm me. And honestly, right now, most of what I can handle is starch. Like, I had straight up rice the other night when I felt really sick. I had noodles for lunch today. I can just like barely handle any kind of veggie right now, and it is what it is. When I can eat healthier, again, I will. But the other symptom I've had is I've been cold. So I've got like the fire going behind me, and it feels heavenly. And I've been having my husband light this a lot because even though our house may get warm and we have the temperature up, I'm just getting cold a lot. And I've always been a little bit on the anemic side, especially when I would have my periods. I would have to take an iron supplement, and I know that it can creep up again in pregnancy, so I'm really going to work hard at trying to keep supplementing iron because most prenatal vitamins don't have it included, just because it's harsh on the on the stomach. So just, I guess it's good to know that if you are feeling symptoms of like coldness, or they say sometimes if you crunch ice in your teeth, a lot of crunching ice can make you, can be a symptom of being anemic or a little bit low on iron, that you may want to be supplementing with that. And of course, I'm just staying warm. So I am also trying to take my prenatal vitamins. I am currently, basically with nausea, all I can handle is gummy vitamins. I cannot handle the pills. I vomit them right up. Once my nausea gets really bad, they don't stay down. So I like gummy vitamins with a little bit of sugar in them. And I currently have these. I'm almost out of them. I probably am going to switch to a different brand because these are a little too vitamin tasting for me. I need them to have a little more sugar in them so I can handle them during this nausea phase. Later in my pregnancy, these might be fine again, but so my husband's currently ordering me off of Amazon. It's like a Solimo brand, Solimo, and that's the one I used with my previous pregnancy that I knew I could handle with my morning sickness. This kind is the Garden of Life, My Kind Organics, prenatal. So, you know, they say as soon as you know you're pregnant, or even if you suspect you might be pregnant, it can't hurt anything. Start taking those vitamins because the baby needs it. And supplement the iron if you need it. I'm also currently taking the Ollie Daily Energy one just because I just feel like I need energy. I'm so fatigued. But it's got extra vitamin B12. And I was also researching a little bit last night. They say that vitamin B6 can help with morning sickness. And there's a lot of chewables and products out there with it in it to help with nausea. So I might be looking into getting some of that. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I've also had a lot of muscle soreness. Even though I'm not very active right now, I've been resting a lot. I've just like had cramping in my legs and my body. So with my last pregnancy, I bought reacted magnesium. Magnesium can really help with those like where the muscles are seizing up. And so that's kind of my arsenal that I'm using to help my body adjust to all of these crazy things going on, these changes. And again, I know the sickness is going to be really debilitating for me. I've always had very bad morning sickness. I talked to the doctor the other day. They said if it's really bad, just call them. They have prescriptions that are perfectly safe that you can take to help with it. But she said basically the prescription is just a combination of vitamin B6 and Benadryl. It's like something that makes you sleepy, and vitamin B6 is what really helps that nausea. So that's why I'm kind of looking on my own to see if I can find some supplements to help with that. So that's everything. We're at week 6. I did go to the doctor. They've officially confirmed the pregnancy. They did take blood work, and I'll go just briefly into why I asked them to do that because it will probably pop up in another video with news on it. So with all of my symptoms coming so early on, because normally pregnant women, or at least me, I don't normally have a list of symptoms like this until week like 7 or 8, really. Like this kind of stuff in my pregnancy used to not hit me till much later. And so this time around, I've just found it really odd that I'm experiencing everything so early, so soon. I didn't know if it's because it's my 4th baby. I also thought it was odd that I was able to test like really firmly positive on the pregnancy test at 3.5 weeks. And I also know that we have a history of twins in our family, and it never occurred to me that it could be twins. I'm not saying it is. I have no confirmation of that yet. But there's always that possibility. Sometimes earlier symptoms like this, some of the things I'm experiencing could mean twins. So I want kind of peace of mind. I'm okay with whatever happens, whatever we find out. Right now I don't know, but what I did is I had them draw blood at my pregnancy appointment, and they will test my HCG levels. And HCG levels is like the hormone in your blood, and it is double or triple the amount if you're often expecting multiples. And so they said they would report back to me like today. I'm supposed to get a lab report today to just kind of see where my HCG levels are, see if there's any indicator in that they're higher than normal. If that's the case, it could mean a multiple pregnancy. If it's normal, then this is just one baby and my hormones are just going nuts, okay? If it is higher than normal, they've went ahead and they've scheduled an ultrasound for me for next week. When I'm week 7. So on Tuesday, I'll have my ultrasound. They said they'll be able to see the baby or babies at that point, and it would be very clear. It would show up in the ultrasound because ultimately that's the only way they can prove or let you know if you're having twins. Like HCG levels is one thing, but looking at a picture and seeing if there's 2 babies in there would be another thing. So that's what I'm waiting on. That's my current status and news. This video went a little bit longer than I intended, but I hope that in going into all of these details that I can help some of you who might be trying. My heart goes out to you mamas if you've experienced loss, if you've been trying, if you're kind of in that phase of what if and guessing. I get it. It's so hard in the unknown phase. I have so many friends who have experienced infertility and loss, and my prayers are with you, mama. If that's you and you're watching this, I'm just so sorry for the pain you've gone through. And if you have found out you're expecting, congratulations to you. And I'm so glad you came to this video on my channel, and maybe we can walk through this journey together. So I will update you guys as soon as I hear back about those HCG levels, or if I know anything more. And like I said, it could all be totally normal. So we'll see. All right. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to spend some more time here by the fire, and who knows, maybe take a nap soon because I get tired and I'm cold. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.